Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryandam Vande Guru Paramparam. Om. In this satsanga, we are discussing about the Vaidika karmas, and as a part of that, we have seen what Nitya karmas are, and now we are discussing Naimittika karmas. And among Naimittika karmas, Shodasha Samskara comes first. These are 16 samskaras aimed to remove the impurities and make our body, our senses, our mind and intellect pure. So basically, the samskaras are purificatory in nature. It is our purifying ourselves. And we have seen even before coming out from the womb of our mother, there are 3 samskaras. And at the time of childbirth, there is one. These are Garbhadhana, Pumsavana, Simanta Athava Simantodayana, then Jata Karma, respectively. And also we have seen the 5th karma as Namakarana, that is the naming ceremony. While discussing that topic, that is the naming ceremony, we have seen that if we are naming the child in the 6th month, it will be the 6th samskara and 5th will be Nishkramana. And if we are naming on 11th day, on the 11th day or on the 28th day, naming ceremony will be the 5th samskara. Then what will be the 6th? 6th will be Nishkramana. Nishkramana means going out or walking out. Nishkramana. The meaning of the root dhatu, kramo, is to walk. Kramu pada vikshepe. So the prefix niri or nis is added. It will become nishkramana, and it would mean walking out. So it is walking out with the child, with the newborn baby. Like in other samskaras, here also there is a special type of ritual. And of course, Agnihotra is there. This Agnihotra karma will be performed inside the home, inside the house. And mother and father must sit in front of the Agni in samasana, that is, seats of equal height. And the child must be on their laps. Father and mother must share the child. Of course, the rituals will go on. And after that, they will take the child outside. There is a specific day prescribed for doing this nishkramana. And that is the third Krishna Paksha Tritiya. That is the Tritiya Tithi of third Krishna Paksha. Third Krishna Paksha means third after the birth of the child. So it would come in between 2.5 months and 3.5 months, according to the tithi of the child. There are two pakshas in a month, Shukla Paksha and the Krishna Paksha. And this particular ritual or ceremony is to be done on the third Krishna Paksha Tritiya. What is special for that day? Why that day it is prescribed? See, the Agnihotra is to be performed in the early morning, and after that the child has to be taken out. Out means out of the home. Then on that day, in the sky, both sun and moon will be there. If there are no clouds, if the sky is clear, on the Krishna Paksha Tritiya morning, we will clearly see both sun and moon. Of course, on the other days also sun will be there. But the size of the moon will not be that much clear. So on this day, moon will be there. And parents will show the child the sun, the moon, then trees, then other birds and animals, especially in the morning time. There will be so many birds. So they must show birds, other animals like cows, dogs, cats. So that is introducing the child the environment around us, where we are living, how many friends we have, who are there as our companions. So this is the first day on which we are trying to make the child associated with the external world. So I'm not alone here. I'm a part of this. And there are so many friends, so many brothers, so many sisters around me. There are trees, and on the trees there are so many squirrels, birds. So all this make one family. That intimacy will come. And after that, daily the child must be taken out. Daily. And the child must get ample sunlight. And it is essential for the all-round growth of the child. But our acharyas says before this, that is before third month, child must not be taken to sunlight because he or she do not have that resistance power to protect himself from the what we can call dangerous rays of the sun. But the capacity will be developed by third month, and after that he must be or she must be taken out. This is essential for the growth of the child. So this is an important samskara. It has many aspects. One, health aspect. Two, the ecological aspect. Three, it is actually somewhat socializing. Socializing never means socializing with the human beings alone. No, we are members of a big family. And all the beings around us are our friends and relatives. So that feeling will have to be developed. So naturally, that love, that care, that feeling I am a part of a whole, that will develop. So this is essential. This is essential. Now what we are seeing nowadays, there are two extremes. One is from the very next day of birth, our little kids are being taken out. And without considering the physical capacity of our children, little kids, many parents are carrying the child outside and moving here and there. That we are seeing. We are witnessing every now and then. And on another side, our children are more or less in closed chambers. We may call it a flat, we may call it a house, whatever we may call. Practically for the children, they are not seeing greenery. They are not seeing sun. They are not seeing moon. They are not seeing the flora and fauna around us. So it must not happen. It must not happen. So this is an important samskara, and we must perform this, Nishkramana. And after that, every now and then, the child must be taken out. He or she must get enough solar light, and thereby energy. So we have to take care of this. All of us can do this. If you are saying, I do not know the rituals, I do not know the mantras to be chanted, or I cannot get any acharya who knows to perform this ritual, that's all right. Leave that part. But why can't we do this part? And especially, this point is to be focused that parents must introduce the child to the environment around us. That is the tree, that is a creeper, that is a bird, that is a cow. Speaking so, parents must introduce. Now some may think, what nonsense this is. The child is of only 2.5 months or 3.5 months. Because the third Krishna Paksha Tritiya means it will come in between that period, according to the Tithi of the child. So at that age, what he will recognize? For him, what cow, what cat, what dog? We may think. But see, it is at this age, that the child is collecting data. Data means in the form of form and sound. All sorts of colors this child will collect. The same way sounds also. It will go on collecting. as much as he or she can, up to a certain age. Then after that, what is happening? Some verifications are happening. Some comparisons are happening. That is what is happening afterwards. Comparison means that he is or she is comparing with the stock he had within. The data already collected. Yes, this is black, this is blue, this is violet. That recognition comes. So the whole data is being collected at this age. So this is an important samskara. Keep in the mind always. Everybody can do this. Of course, in many countries, where there will be no sun, nor moon in the morning. Of course, such countries are there. I'm aware of it. There practically we have to find out another day, that is another tithi, and another time, instead of a third Krishna Paksha Tritiya and morning time. Instead of that, we have to find out practically at what time there will be sun and moon. That time we can do this. That means there is no hard and fast rule. What has been written in our scriptures are taking into account the condition which are prevailing in Bharat. So, as per the differences in the claim, we have to find out for ourselves which is the time to perform this. So we must be practical in all these things. It is not simply following. Not simply following what is written. No. We can apply our practical intelligence and we can decide. But we must not avoid this, because this is for the all-round development of our child. So make it a point, keep inside, and we can do as per the practical situations. Now, after this Nishkramana comes the next samskara, that is the seventh Annaprasha. What is Annaprasha? When it should be done? All these things we can discuss in our next sitting. Namaste. Now whatever you want to ask, you can ask. If I know, I'll reply. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. This thing take us, the discussion we have been continuing for the past few weeks. It was interesting to observe that you said that the pregnancy and especially the childbirth has to be in a home environment at least, or in a different setup than a regular hospital. And now the Western world is also embracing the same concept, having a planned home birth. Like the women, they want to have the childbirth at home. It's a planned home birth, it's called.
Yeah.
Rather than not it is medically assisted. At the same way, they have, they do have all the checkups and everything, but they want to have the childbirth at the home environment. And is astonishingly 20% of the Netherlands, the Dutch, childbirth has been happening in the home environment, and they would like, and in case of any emergency, they will have the environment and infrastructure to take to the hospital and everything. But having the childbirth at the home environment has got resulted into most of the deliveries has been in a regular manner rather than any intersection or anything. So
Yeah.
that is, something what we have been discussing here has been proven some kind of a statistical or a scientific, so-called scientific, probably we may have gynecs and doctors around us right now. They can also comment on this, but just want to make sure. And the child has to be taken out only after 3 months on the latest study of John Hopkins hospital, I mean medical center. So I will
Yeah.
take this to yeah.
These are interesting things. We see when this discussion happens, there are two sources. One is from the treasure we had from what we can call time immemorial. Because thousands and thousands of years back, our acharyas not only orally taught this, but they wrote down all these things. So that written, documented things are with us. That's a part of our treasure. That is one source. Another source is our present day knowledge, and of course, technology, and the research and studies happening in this age. So increasingly, as you have mentioned, people, especially educated people, are getting aware of this aspect. That is why in many countries, not only in Netherlands, but it is number one. I am with you. It's perfectly true. But in other countries also, people are opting this delivery at home. But of course, it will have many practical aspects. Many practical aspects are there in case of emergency. So, according to the development structure of each and every country, or at least the place, we have to consider that aspect also. In case of some emergency happening, what we will do. So if we can address such situation, we can take into account all those things and give all assistance, the help of expert gynecologist, help of midwives, and of course, such machines and tools which are essential for some emergency treatments like surgeries and all. If we can provide all these things and make a sanitized atmosphere for attending such situations, then it is all right. But in the present day world, we cannot do everywhere. In the countries where population is too much and the facilities are not that much developed, we cannot opt delivery at home. So that is why in that situation, we have to advocate these centers which are kept for that. There is no other sickness, no other cries, no other pains, no disease, nothing. Only maternity cases. There must be specialized doctors, all facilities, but only maternity cases will be attended. Then the trauma our children have. And the trapped emotions which will be stored within them. That is the main thing. That is the main thing. And along with that, the psychological support which the mother will get, all these aspects, everything is positive there. So that is important. World will think more and more. And change will come. There is no doubt in that. So such maternity homes must be developed everywhere. That's our opinion. Namaste. It is good that you shared all these things with the substantiating things.
There are so
Namaste.
many centers actually already existing. I mean, it has
Yeah.
started like
Yeah.
motherhood, this one, Cloud9. We undertake only maternity cases or, women and not even the child, mainly for the women. Yeah.
That is good. That must come. That must come. It
More
will,
and more should come. Yeah.
yeah. Then our social psyche will become better and better. There's no doubt
Atmosphere
in
itself
that.
will be fine. Yeah. For them to
Yeah.
come and sit and, yeah.
Yeah.
Namaste,
Namaste.
Swami. Next question is from Madhuji. Madhuji, you can ask that. Unmute yourself. About-
Hello.
Namaste. Namaste.
Namaste, namaste. No, I just mentioned in the chat. How did the Kerala Acharya of 28 Ketta or Noolgatta come about? Or how does it fit in with the short samskarangal that we have discussed?
See, there were many Kettu. Kettu is in Malayalam. In Kerala, which were disastrous. Disastrous not only for families but for the whole society. There were many. Great reformers and acharyas like Mannatha Padmanabhan tried to worked hard to stop all these Kettu nonsenses. But see, whenever we see some decay somewhere, whatever be that, some sort of decay, it shows before the beginning of that factor, that decaying, there was a healthy base, a healthy body, a healthy practice. On a healthy body, when time allows, then this decaying will happen. This is a fact. So actually, in the beginning stage, these like ceremonies or rituals were started with a good aim, a better vision. But in course of time, slowly and slowly, deterioration came, and it proved detrimental to the interest of the society. Actually, on the 28th day of birth, there was, even now there is some special functions in the house. This is not a part of Shodasha Samskara. This is not a part of Shodasha. But it is the day on which the child is completing one Nakshatra Masa. Nakshatra Masa means 27 days. There are 27 Nakshatras. And the child has completed 27 days means one Nakshatra Masa. And this Nakshatra Masa, it has connection with the human body. There is no doubt in that. We are seeing menses cycles in women consisting of 27 days, and on the 28th day, they will menstruate again. So the cycle goes when it is normal. So it has connection with the human body. See, this body is a part of this universe. So moon can make influence. Sun is making influence. Stars have influence. We cannot negate all these things. If we do not know such things, we can say, I do not know. We cannot say all these are superstitions. No. We can say this much, I do not know. As far as I know, or as far as the present science or technology know, we do not know this. That we can say. But we cannot say all these are nonsense. So when 27 days are being completed, on the 28th day, all the family members come together and they will pray for the health of the child. And it is on that day, this child will be given cow milk. Till 27th day, child will be feeding only on mother's milk. Now we will add cow's milk. But if there is enough milk, then mother has to give him or her milk. There is no doubt in that, because mother's milk is best for the child. That is the best thing. But slowly, in course of development, the child has to get some more nutrition, some more materials. And most suitable milk is cow's milk. Cow's milk means not the milk of the present day. Nowadays, we are not at all seeing cows. There are milk producing machines are there. And we are giving many things to cows, even urea, many chemicals, fish and meat. Many things we are giving that cow. And what we are getting is not milk. Of course, it will have white color. It is not milk. But cows in the natural habitat, that milk is most suitable. So that is on this day. And see, till that day, the child will not wear any ornaments. It is on that day, that is on the 28th day, some ornaments made of gold. Either from mother's family or from father's family, or both will bring, and they will give as presents. So that will be tied to the body of the child, whether it is a chain or a bangle, whatever it is. It is the kuttu. So that's a good thing. There's nothing wrong. But when we are taking it as a point of our family ego and to show the greatness, in earlier days we used to sell our properties to show our we are big. Our neighbor did that much. They invited 10 people. We are inviting 20 people. So we are great. To show that, they sold their properties. Like that, many ceremonies which were started for the benefit of the society eventually turned detrimental. So actually this 28th day, that kattu means tying. Kattu means tying. With a great vision that was started. But eventually it became reverse. In the same way, there were many kattus. We need not discuss all these things today because as a result of our Acharya's works, tireless work of so many social reformers, this evil side of our society are removed. Now we are not doing many such worse practices. This 28th, there is nothing wrong. It is good. So we can follow it in the best manner. In the best manner we can follow. But there were many other curses. We are not going to discuss all these things now because there were many black points in our history. As an effect of the tireless work of so many social reformers, we overcame. Then we need not discuss all those things now, but there were so many curses. For example, before a girl attaining a puberty, there was another cut. So symbolically, one marriage ceremony will be performed. There were some people from some specific caste who will be doing that. Of course, there may be some plus points when it started. Just to make aware of the society that such a girl is here, she will attain this much age, she will be a woman within a short period. So marriage proposal can be invited. So that was the positive aspect behind that. But eventually what happened, it became that much a worse practice. Many families were destroyed, ruined fully, only because of such practices. But however, as the effect of the work, interference of our reformers, acharyas, Now such practices are not there in our society. So many things are there, many cultures are there. So this 28th day we can follow now. That is scientific. But the other negative aspects we can avoid. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. And there is another question from Ravi Teja. He has got some connection issues. So he requested me to read that question to you.
Uh,
And his question is, Namaste, Swamiji. I heard, Swamiji, you are saying that a guru on the path of Adhyatma is required to be Srotriya and Brahmanishta in a discourse on sadhana before. Does this apply to yoga acharyas too? If yes, how could one distinguish between a real and unreal acharya? Are the modern yoga teachers, like he mentioned a couple of names, which is we don't want to discuss in public, valid as per the shastras? So what his question is that how he can distinguish the Srotriya
yeah.
and Brahmanishta, so that was his question.
Got it. See, according to the Vedanta Shastra, that is basically the Upanishads and the Prakaranas, through which we can enter into the heart of the Upanishads. According to them, an acharya must be Shrotriya and Brahmanishta. There is no doubt in that. And regarding that aspect, there is no doubt for him also who asked this question. The question comes whether it is essential for a yoga guru that he should be a Shrotriya and Brahmanishta. We cannot say that. It is not essential. Because as far as yoga is concerned, there is no such a concept as Brahmanishta. Because in the Yoga Shastra, there is no such a concept as Brahma. No. Take the Patanjala Yoga. There is no Brahman. There is no reference even. And we go to Hatha. Texts like Gheranda Samhita or Hatha Yoga Pradipika. There such discussions are not there. But see, by Shrotriya, what we are meaning is he must come, or he must be a person who has come in the lineage of a guru. That practical experience must be there. So in the case of yoga teacher also, he or she must have a guru. There is no doubt in that. We have to learn, we have to practice under a competent guru. That is essential. We cannot evade or avoid. But we cannot say a yoga guru must be a Brahmanishta. But we can say this much. He must practice. He must be a practicing yogi. Or even if he is not a practicing yogi, he must have authority to teach. That means he must have cleared all doubts. And he must be able to clear the doubts which will be arised in the student. So he must be an authority in the Yoga Shastra and practice. See, nowadays, yoga is much spread around the globe. Everywhere there is yoga. That is good. But when something is growing, there will be naturally parasites growing along with that. Take the case of a small mango tree, a plant. Never we will see a parasite plant on that. But you go and see big mango trees. There will be many parasite plants on that. So when the body of a tree grows, many parasites will come. In the same way, when a social system or a system of education spreads around, in the name of that, there will be many things. Many things. We cannot name all. Many will be doing most scientifically. Many will be doing against the instructions of our acharyas. And newer things will be added. So all these things are there. It will be there. So what we have to do is, along with the practice or more than practice, we have to go into the Shastras. It won't change. It won't change. It cannot be changed. So if we are going to Shastras and see what is instructed by Acharyas, then we for ourselves will discover what is right and what is wrong. We'll be able to identify, differentiate. So we must have a theoretical knowledge. With that theoretical knowledge, we must practice. With practice, we must go more and more deeper into Shastras. These must complement each other. The Shastra aspect and the practice aspect. Both these must complement. Then for ourselves, we will recognize which guru is right. And we cannot say which guru is wrong, because guru cannot be wrong. So those who are posing as gurus, how they are wrong, that also we will recognize. So along with practices, we have to go to Shastras. Because many types of yoga are there. I have heard of rum yoga, whiskey yoga. It's great. If a tippler can have that yoga, even in the midst of rum and whiskey, then he is greatest indeed. We have to prostrate before him. Even Patanjali will prostrate before him. There is no doubt in that. But practically it is not possible. Practically it is not possible. So all these are deviations. Why deviations are happening? Because a royal road is there. because a royal road, a highway is there. That is why deviations are happening. So it is great. So we must not be trapped. We must not be trapped. So along with practice, or more than practice, we have to focus on Shastras. And with the Shastras, we have to practice more and more. And there must these two must complement each other. Then if somebody is doing some malpractices, which we cannot educate as per the Shastra, we will recognize for ourselves. So we need not criticize them, but we can avoid them. That is the answer. Yeah, that is the answer. Namaste.
Namaste, Swamiji. The next question from Kamalaji. Kamalaji.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste. Namaste.
My question is about the addiction, not to the drugs or smoking or alcohol, but the usual addiction we see in the adults as well as the children. So whether it has anything to do with our gunas, or what can we do for that? Because especially the children nowadays, we hear so many things. Recently, there was an incident where a boy killed the grandmother because, never allowed him to use the mobile. See, something like that. So what is that we could do?
Yeah. This is a very, very grave practical issue. Because in the present day world, that big family setup is not there. In bigger and bigger houses, tiny families are living. And practically, of course, parents are loving their children. But the care which children must get, they are not getting. By care, I am not meaning giving this and that. But that care they are not getting. So naturally, they are being attracted to many unwanted parts. And many types of addictions are there. Many types of addictions. How to tackle all this? According to situation, we have to find out the ways and means. Now, after this COVID scenario started, we are seeing huge rise in traffic to porn sites. That we are seeing. Who are going? Our children. Our children. They do not have that balance between intellect and emotion. So at that age, it is quite natural when they come across some advertisements or when they get some links, at least out of curiosity they will go. And that will be the starting point of an addiction. And along with that, these narcotic addictions is also a big problem nowadays, because around even primary schools, we are getting so many chemicals. There are many agents, and many children, students are part of that net. So how to tackle all these things? How to address? It's a very big practical problem. So it's a very big practical problem. According to situations, we have to find out ways and means. The same medicine cannot be applied everywhere. But at the very outset, we can say this much. Children must get a practical idea how to use all these gadgets. We cannot resist them. Don't use. No, we cannot. And we cannot supervise them always. That is not possible. It is not practical, and it is not at all advisable also. It will limit their individuality. So, the dharmic practices we must have in our homes. If we are narrating stories from itihasas, Puranas, and other stories pregnant with values, they will have a practical knowledge with it. What will bind me and what will not? What is good for me, what is not? That knowledge they will have. And along with that, we have to find out some time, say at least 1 hour or 1.5 hours, we have to find out to spend with our children. Father, mother, and children must sit together. They must play, they must talk, they must share ideas. That cordial and loving atmosphere must be there in each and every home. If father or mother are keeping their mobile phones or their gadgets secretly, then it will give a message to the child. He or she can do the same. Instead of that, such gadgets must be placed openly in the home. If we are doing that, child also will follow that suit. This is sure. But what we are doing, we are putting some special locks. And it will give a message to the child. We have our own privacies. Of course, we must have our own privacies, but not in all cases, not everywhere. When he or she is developed, it is all right. Developed means that balance of intellectual and emotional levels. When that balance is there, there is nothing wrong. Nothing can ruin him or her. But till that, when emotion is working higher, he or she will be attracted to many unwanted or unhealthy thoughts or practices. There is no doubt in that. So from early childhood, our children must see how my father is loving me, how my mother is loving me. Of course, they must have their own privacies and things. I'm not against that. But while using these gadgets, if there is one official mobile phone, father can tell the child, this is my boy or my girl, this is my official thing. So I will have a lock for it. I will keep it away from you. Not only from you, from your mother also, or from your father also. Because it is official thing. All others we can use together. We must not build any wall in between. If that message we are giving, children also will start using them openly. If some mobile phone comes, when it rings, you are taking the mobile phone running away from the child, then the child will see it. He will observe what mother is speaking, where she is going. So there is some secret thing she is keeping away from me. So I can also keep. Why can't I? So first be models before our children. This is the first challenge. We don't have this challenge. We didn't go for that. So this is only one opinion. Why I'm saying this? Because you mentioned this addiction connected with mobile phones and all. And now our children are getting mobile phone. They must get because everywhere classes are online. So they must get. But many a time we are seeing parents are not giving our children mobile phones. If they will take, mother will be observing, father will be observing what you are doing. You must not go there. You must not go there. It will be then that the child is hearing such things are there. So out of curiosity, he will go. So don't tell that. Of course, in the present day world, our children will get mobile phone from their friends, from others, or they can even steal. And we will not admit that. Oh, my child, he will not steal. But he will, because the temptation is there to use. So give them. Instead of not giving, you give them. But teach them beforehand how to use. And that teaching must be through practical way. So there are many things. There are many things.
Swamiji, isn't it a good idea? The teachers give them all this advice in the school.
Yeah, teachers can do that. Of course, teachers can
Then
do
they are
that.
better.
But see, the child is going from the home. And the first teacher is our mother. Mother is the first teacher. There is no doubt in that. Because in the case of science, in the case of mathematics, in the case of languages which our children are studying, teachers are the authority. Even if our father or our mother is a great scientist, he or she will not be authority before the child. Before the child, his teacher will be the authority. That is regarding the subjects. But regarding the moral values, our first teacher is our mother. There is no doubt in that. So it is the duty of our mother and father to teach all these things. And of course, teachers can add on to it. It is just adding on. I'm repeating, It is just adding on. Because the first teacher is mother and then comes the father. They must give all these values. They must find, see, in many, what we are seeing in practically our families, children are not seeing their parents. Before they get up, she had gone for her work. He had gone for her work. And there is one appointed woman to look after the child. So she is going to work, and to see the child, another employee is there. And child is suffering. And all these sufferings will deposit more and more trapped emotions in him or her. And parents will be coming back in the evening. Then they will bring the child to here and there. Or by the time child will be sleeping, he will be seeing his parent or her parent once in a month or so. Then the relation will be formal. That heart-to-heart relation is not there. And what will be there? A bundle of trapped emotions. This will create so many psychological problems. There is no doubt in that. Personality disorders. And in such cases, there are many things to depend on. Liquor, other narcotic drugs. So many things are there to depend. To give just an outlet to the trapped emotions. So this is a practical problem. We have to address this. So regarding all these, our boys and girls, before getting into the wedlock, must have a clear knowledge regarding all these things. And for that, a premarital counseling is essential. Only after completing a certain number of premarital counseling sessions, they should be allowed to marry. And even after that, such counseling must happen. Actually, these were not required at all. Because in the family, we had our grandmother, we had our grandfather. All these counselings we were getting regularly through stories, through plays. Now it is not there. So in the present day world, such counseling centers are essential. There is no doubt in that. So we must treat from the source. From the source we have to treat. That is the idea. I think now we can conclude and continue in our next session. Namaste. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayah Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.